Welcome to r/Malicious Compliance, where we share stories of people conforming to the letter but not the spirit of request. And today we have 3 great stories, so subscribe, hit the like button, and let's begin. The first story: company lost most management team and a ton of money in consequences, and will continue to do so. The second story: I didn't get my phone that day, but I did ruin someone else's. The third story: my telephony operator did not want to give me a favorable rating, so I went to their competitor. Today's first story is: quit toxic workplace, as I was not in company values and left none of my knowledge behind. This was during my previous workplace, where I worked more than half a decade. By the time I left, I was in the top 3 personnel of seniority and knowledge, and the most technical system user out of hundreds and hundreds of people. I have done it all, everything from A to Z. Operations, HR, finance, supply chain, etc., you name it. Anyway, I decided to leave, as leadership had changed, and everything was going downhill fast. My progression had slowed down, and I was not allowed to progress for another 2 to 3 years, depending on how I behave. It took me quite some time to find my current job and take this step. However, up to the moment of leaving, my new manager, director, tried to play a power move in a one-on-one meeting and say that I'm not a team player. If I don't like it, I should go. It's okay if I want to go and he would understand. My colleagues are saying I'm not supportive, etc. This was due to the fact that I called him out on nonsense and others, was not afraid to speak my mind on poorly made decisions, and had to protect my team from his and other managers' mistakes. I rather took the hit than my team. Meeting got quite heated, but kept my cool, and he proposed to meet in an hour or so, to think and discuss how I will change, and what is my project for this year. In simple words, what extra you will do for same salary, because we don't like you and want to pay you a lot less. Fine, let's meet in 1 hour. I considered quitting on the spot because that would cause absolutely massive issues, but I decided to treat him the same way I was treated, and my team shouldn't suffer from his stupidity. Cue malicious compliance first time. I came back to the meeting and spewed out the biggest, vilest nonsense I could come up with that he wanted to hear. Oh jolly me, happy days, I'm a yes man. Came up with random projects and the values I really want to contribute, yada yada. Really gave the effort in my emotions, whilst discussing and making this place the best workplace ever, working during my days off and overtimes to succeed. I'm in it for all to redeem my poor values. I could have involved HR and sorted it out differently, but this was way better. Anyway, the W sort of bites my nonsense and goes with it, giving me a last chance to redeem myself. Not sure what I'm redeeming, it's him who did not like me. But he's not a complete moron, so probably he had some doubts. So after leaving the room, I started the new happy yes man me transformation. I said absolutely nothing to anyone leaving, because I'm fully aware how things spread around. So in the meantime, I had a few interviews and one place caught my eye. They caught me and we had a good communication. I was waiting for final interview. The things were still going downhill, and my moron director was being an A more than usual. I couldn't wait to drop my resignation letter on the table. Cue malicious compliance second time. I knew my last days here are approaching and was hoping I'd get out soon. Unfortunately, we had another lengthy one-on-one, and he still wasn't happy with everything I do, and I should do more and better, especially with my type of experience. So I took upon more things. Realistically speaking, I would need at least one more person with exactly the same knowledge as I have to barely manage everything within my contracted hours. Worry not, I am a yes man. All the new projects and responsibilities. On the next day, I checked my holidays at the end of the month. If everything is correctly booked as I was hoping, I would give my notice, and only have to work half of it due to holidays. That is if I get offered the new position. Hours later, I get an email with new contract, and I'm starting in a month. I did not want to send the email on the weekend about my resignation, as I wanted to see his face when I hand him a letter. Waited for Monday, asked if he has a moment, and gave a well-presented letter with my resignation. He asked with a curiously stupid smile, "What is this?" Well, I don't know. How about you open it up? I said have a look, to which he came back with, "I can't wait, you can tell me." Wow, the cringe. So after not saying anything, he opens it up, and suddenly from the almighty warrior and most of the time yelling at everyone, he turns pale, scared, and barely whispering. Oh, wow, yes, that is my resignation letter. I give my notice now and will send over email. If there's anything you want to discuss, please schedule a meeting. Oh, yes, we definitely have to talk, So I had an exit interview where all of a sudden he tried to be nicer, not raising his voice and very concerned about what I'm doing. The exit interview was a walk around the facility with some casual questions that I gave vague answers to. Was no point explaining anything more as his manager was and is on the same stupidity level, and nothing would change. Cue malicious compliance last time. I inquired before me going on annual leave, and also not coming back, if there's anything else I can support with. No, just leave your laptop and access card. Are you sure there's nothing else? Yeah. Great, guess you don't need access to dozens of files that everyone uses that are under my management, as well as detailed yearly, monthly, weekly, and even daily forecasts of activity, hours, holidays, and so on. Forecasts and such were my individual files. The commonly used one was very poor, and not detailed at all. Colleague who took over thought she knows what I was doing, but had no idea it would be that hard and failed miserably. So I gave my team all the holidays and shifts they wanted whenever they wanted. Made schedule for at least 1 month in advance so they don't have to suffer, as I know after I leave they would be lucky to have schedule for even the same week. And removed all access from the files I owned and deleted after. Ensured there's no traces of backup of them anywhere, and even formatted SSD so nothing could be easily recovered even if anyone tried. Last day of my employment, came in, dropped everything off and left. Heard of aftermath straight away, as suddenly department spiraled in delays. Forecast was not accurate. Scheduling did not match activity requirements. Nobody working on projects. IT couldn't access my computer for whatever reasons, as well, and could not recover any files. Their delay got so massive it would actually take months to recover, with the right resources, whilst even not respecting KPIs. There were a lot of technical issues nobody knew how to sort out either. In the end, they had to spend a lot more for extra staff and even technical IT support to do basic things. Most of management team left after I left, and a lot of team members resigned. Rough estimate is that they will lose millions over the next years, regarding how everything is managed, and have lost already a lot. The next story is, AT&T partner store tried to steal from me, asked me if I wanted to call customer attention, and I complied. This happened a couple of days ago in Hollywood, Florida. I traded up my phone for the holidays on AT&T's website and arranged a pickup in my nearest store. The receipt I had for the pickup said that the phone was being held until December 30th, so I go in on the 29th to pick it up. I needed to get to work and I wasn't going to be available to leave work during business hours, so it had to be then. I was hoping the whole process would take 15 minutes. It didn't. I get there and the individual, Alan, tells me that my phone wasn't available because I had waited too long and they had canceled my pickup, even though I had until the next day to do so. I show him the email that says that, and he shrugs his shoulders, and he says that they canceled the order because they counted the day I placed the order as one of the days towards cancellation, which is obviously stupid. Then he offers to sell me the phone that I was trying to pick up, because it's impossible for me to pick up the phone that was being held for me. I just want my GD phone, so I agree to go through the purchase process, and as it turns out, I'll have to pay for the phone again, and let AT&T refund the funds for the original order. Major BS, but again, this is all the time I have to pick up my phone. I asked him for the phone number for someone I can speak with about what is going on, and he tells me I need to speak to customer attention and gives me a phone number he pulls off a list. So he goes through the process, and by then I'm late for work, and he tells me he's having problems selling me the last unit of the phone I wanted to purchase. He tries to upsell me. I tell him that I want the GD phone I ordered, and tells me that he's having some trouble because the system is not letting him sell that unit. It's the last unit he has, so he needs to take extra steps to sell it to me. So now he goes on his phone and makes some phone calls to try and unlock this unit. Meanwhile, he leaves me alone long enough to find out that the phone number he gave me was BS. It led to a non-working extension for AT&T, and it would just stay on hold. I went on Google and discovered this by finding the actual customer attention phone number and calling it. So now I'm speaking with a customer attention specialist, and I explain to him what is happening over the phone. The retention specialist confirms that yes, my phone is available for pickup and has not been canceled. Meanwhile, on his phone, I can hear Alan speaking with someone at AT&T, and the person he's speaking with says over the speakerphone, "I can't allow you to sell that phone. It's being held until tomorrow for customer pickup." So I asked the person on Alan's phone to repeat that, and confirmed that yes, Alan was trying to sell me the phone that I had already purchased, and was there to pick up. Then I asked the customer attention person I'm speaking with if he heard the other individual's comment. The customer attention rep confirms that he heard what the other AT&T rep has said, and the retention rep asks me to confirm the store number I'm located at, and the name of the person I'm speaking with. At that point, Alan, upon realizing I'm speaking with customer attention, and retention heard everything he's trying to do with my phone, tells me to leave the store, and he tells me he's going to call the police if I don't. Customer retention rep on the phone hears him kick me out of the store. So I didn't get my phone that day, but I did have it delivered to my house next day UPS, which was nice, and I did get to have a conference call with a regional manager from AT&T, along with a supervisor at customer retention and a manager for third-party dealer locations, while the customer retention specialist confirms everything I was telling them. I didn't get my phone that day, but I did ruin someone else's, and that was way more satisfying. Edit. Dispute over ownership of a property during a sale is not a police issue. If I had waited for them and refused to leave, they would not have taken my side, so they would have arrested me. Ownership of a paid-for item at worst is a civil court issue, and no cop is going to arrest some dude at an AT&T store for not giving me my phone, unless he had lifted it out of my pocket. Please stop suggesting I should have waited for the police. I was already on the phone with corporate and late for work. The last story is, discount is only for new activations? Okay. This happened a few weeks ago around Boxing Day in Canada. I've had a cell phone plan with the same carrier for roughly 4 years. To be honest, I have no problem with the carrier, except that for some reason they keep sending me offers that are not applicable to my situation. They had a weird situation where they wouldn't let me change my plan for a year. It was completely ridiculous, and also completely unrelated to this story. My 2-year contract with this company ran out on Black Friday, and so I was free to renegotiate my plan on Boxing Day. So I did. I went to a large shopping mall which has every phone carrier, not naming which one to hide my own location, to look around for deals. Turns out in the last 2 years that I was locked into my contract, cell plans have become insanely cheap. I could get a plan with 3 times as much data for half the prices I was paying previously from the same carrier, but only for new accounts. So I went to the carrier's kiosk at this mall and I said to them, "Hey, I've been a loyal customer of yours for roughly 4 years, and my family has been clients of yours for decades. Yes, plural decades. I just want you to extend this new account's offer to me. Can you do that?" They said no, and that I would have to call customer service. Cue malicious compliance. Now, as it turns out, this carrier's kiosk is in the middle of the hallway of this particular mall, with a 360-degree view of all the other stores and kiosks around it. Also, as it turns out, their primary competitor's kiosk is right next to theirs, and because of the way cell phone companies work in Canada, they're offering a similar deal. So I went literally 5 meters away, found a representative at their competitor's kiosk, and signed up for their service on the spot, in clear view of the representative I had just finished speaking to from the original store. The next day, a representative from the original company called me to ask me why I canceled my service. I told them the story, that they wouldn't extend their deal to me, and I guess roughly $500 over the next year in their pocket isn't worth it to them. The phone rep agreed that this situation was dumb, and there was nothing he could do about it, and that's where the discussion ended. I anticipate having a similar problem in 12 months from now at Boxing Day this year, and switching my carrier back to the original one. Haha. My internet carrier, the same carrier as the company I canceled with in this story, had a deal for a cheaper service, but only for new accounts. Notice a pattern? And when I called and asked for it, I was told new customers only. I said, "Okay, how about I cancel my subscription right now?" And they instantly gave me an even better deal than the one advertised. Subscribe to the channel and hit the like button.